I'm blessed to be here. And after 10 years, have this beautiful connection. The LA Philharmonic is an institution that everybody in the world sees as an example. And I think we are building something unique. After 10 years, of course, I'm a very, very good Venezuelan Angeline. I received one of the best orchestras in the world. And if we go back, we are talking about a list of the best musicians and artists in the history of the classical music.
If you listen to the LA Phil of today, you can have no doubt that this is one of the greatest orchestras in the world. And there's a reason for that. This is the orchestra that Gustavo's built over the last 10 years.
First notes that he conducted were with our very first class of viola students. Then they played the great tune from the end of Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, from the Ode to Joy. But then the LA Phil came on stage, and Gustavo led one of the most remarkable performances of Beethoven 9 I've ever heard. There was so much joy on the stage. There was so much joy in the audience. That night was special.
One of the things I love about Gustavo is that he always brings the same passion and dedication to everything he's doing. And he wants to do it to the very, very best. He never compromises.
He has an electrifying presence that's so spontaneous and so powerful. He is no ordinary conductor that waves with just a baton in his arms.
Through Gustavo's time at the LA Phil, Mahler has been a recurring theme. He definitely has a very, very special rapport with Mahler's music.
The idea of doing a Mahler cycle, an orchestra playing the 9 symphonies of Mahler, is a Herculean task. But for a conductor to lead those 9 symphonies and then to do it twice, because we then took it on tour to Caracas, this was just crazy.
And I will never forget walking into that first rehearsal where he was warming up the chorus, and it was almost deafening, the sound of that many voices. It gave you goosebumps. And by the time we were performing it, we just blew the roof off.
Yo creo profundamente que la música juega un papel primordial en los tiempos en que vivimos. La música une, la música crea puentes.
We do a lot of collaborations with dance, with visual arts. I think it's really fantastic to reach new public. And for us to collaborate with pop icons like Katy Perry, well, what a blast.
Gustavo has changed many of the paradigms that exist in classical music nowadays, and he has introduced as well music that is more palpable. I mean, it's impossible to capture in a single sentence all the admiration I have.
We try to create. We are sometimes crazy, but beautiful crazy. If you see the program on paper, sometimes it can look like how this can happen. But then when you are there, you are playing and people is listening, you get in a journey that you never experienced before. Because it's not only to play our regular classical music, we premiere pieces when we do some concerts with pop artists. And that is great because that creates a beautiful balance for the audience and also for us to discover a new world.
For Gustavo, the idea that music crosses barriers, crosses social barriers, and that it should be there for everyone is a great passion. And he lives and breathes that.
He's one of the great humanitarians. He came out of El Sistema, this program which is really about giving voice to kids where they might not have the opportunity to have that voice otherwise.
In Venezuela, I was blessed to be born in a country where we have a Maestro José Antonio Abreu and a program called El Sistema. Giving the opportunity, building an orchestra inspired by El Sistema, that is to be visionary. And that is something that in LA we have been working for. So I'm very proud of that. Yola is a program for access. This dream of music as a fundamental human right. This is the future of Yola, creating the most beautiful citizens for the world.
It's the most exciting development I've seen in music education in my lifetime.
So YOLA is not just an education program, it's part of who we are. It's part of how we define ourselves as an organization. And that's why we're now building this new Judith and Thomas L. Beckman YOLA Center in Inglewood, because we truly want to give to that community the gift of inspiration and coming together around music that we hope will make a difference to people's lives.
Maestro Abreu always said, you know, start small, and from that, you get bigger and bigger. Imagine a young boy from Venezuela arriving here and becoming the best friend of Frank Gehry, having this beautiful and unique connection with John Williams, John Adams, Herbie Hancock, all of these great people. It's a dream still, you know. Every time that I'm doing a concert with the orchestra, it's an event. It's something very special.
When he puts out his movements that's so powerful and electrifying, we play like there is no tomorrow. We actually give out 150%. The 50% we never thought we had.
What we have developed is the soul of the orchestra, is the spirit of this wonderful group of musicians, and the commitment to bring more people close to classical music.